This presentation is going to walk you through how to use mail merge in Microsoft Word. Within this demonstration, I'm also going to incorporate Microsoft Excel and show you how you can upload an Excel file and use that to merge data from within Microsoft Word. So what's the purpose of using mail merge? Mail merge is a helpful tool within Microsoft Word that allows you to personalize letters to multiple people, multiple locations, whatever you want within a couple of easy steps. In addition to being able to personalize letters, you also can personalize envelopes or labels, and actually within a matter of minutes or so, be able to have multiple labels to personalize those envelopes and mail them out to a large number of individuals. So let's get started and let's talk about mail merge. I do have a couple of files that we're going to go through. We're going to use a Word document as well as an Excel file. So the first thing we're going to open up is our actual document that we will be merging information in from our Excel file. So within Microsoft Word, you have a tab that is mailing. In the mailing tab, you have an option that says Start Mail Merge. If you click that drop-down box, you have several different options of what you can merge. But the easy way to mail merge is to just use the wizard that is going to take you step by step of how to insert the data you want. Once you click the wizard, you're going to have over on your navigation pane your mail merge option. Okay. And within there, you also can select if you want to actually work on a letter, do some email addresses, envelopes, labels, or some other options. For this demonstration, we're going to go through a letter, and you're just going to go to the bottom here and actually walk through the steps. So let's go to the next step. The next step is asking you, okay, do you want to use the document that you currently have open? Do you want to start with a template or use some other document? Well, we're going to use the document here that we have that we want to actually include the different recipients in. And we're going to click next. From there, they're asking, do you want to use an existing list? Do you want to select from your Outlook contacts? So maybe it's certain people within your contacts you want to send a letter or email to, or do you want to type a new list? So you have the option to actually type out all of those names. Well, for this demonstration, I want to show you all how you can use an Excel file to be able to do that. So we're going to use an existing list and we're going to click Browse. When we click Browse, it's going to add dialog box is going to come up, and this is called your data source. So actually, where are you going to get your data from to populate within your letter to personalize for this mail merge activity? I'm going to go to my desktop because that's where it's located and actually choose my Excel file, which is my data source. And I'm going to click Open. Once I click that, I get another dialog box that comes up and say, is this the table that you want to select? Notice that your first row of your data contains column headers, which it does. If you are interested in how you set up data within Excel, go look at some of my videos on how to use Excel. And within Excel, you have to have a header that's actually going to say what is the data within each of those columns that you have entered into the cells. So I'm going to make sure that that's checked and click OK. From there, you're going to get another dialog box that opens that actually shows you the data that is in your Excel file. Notice that top row are my headers, and it's going to be for each of the columns and the data that is included within each of those columns. This dialog box allows you to really say, do I want all of these? Do I not want these? You can check what you want to come over. That's going to give you the option to be dropping these different data fields within your letter to personalize it. So I'm just going to scroll through, make sure I have everything, and then click OK. All right, so I have my document, I have my file, and I'm ready to go to write my letter. Click Next. Now, on step 4 is where you're actually going to design where you want the individual data fields to be placed within your document. before you select any of those fields, it's very important that you place your insertion pointer in the location of where you want those to drop into the letter. So as a review of what you have in your Excel file, you can click more items, and more items is going to say these are the actual headers that are in your Excel file. Do you want to choose from any of these? So we're going to come back to this option, but I want to show you the first, which is an address block. An address blocks allows you to actually put in how you want to address this letter, and it could be the address, the individual's name, the state, the zip. So I didn't have all of those in my file, and for demonstration purposes, we're going to actually just put in the email address. You also can put in a greeting line, okay, and we're actually going to place this in. But the first thing we need to do is place it where we want it to show up. So I'm putting it here right before the document starts, okay, and I'm going to go back to greeting line, and you have the option to either choose dear, to, or have none. So I'm going to say to the name, and it could show up however you want it to show up, and I'm just going to do the actual name. If you wanted to say to whom it concerned, you can also do that. But we're going to do to whomever that individual name is and click OK. All right, so notice how the greeting line block actually comes up. So you can think of this more of as a placeholder that's going to place where that's going to be pulled from your data source, so from your Excel file. I'm actually going to go back up here, go to my more items, and then select the email address because I want each of those to populate within my document. Okay, so remember, it's going to be based upon however you have your data source set up, and it could be a name, an address, zip code, all of those items. You can actually put them in as your placeholders of where that data will come from. All right, so let's go to the next step since I've pulled in the information that I want to be populated from my file, and click preview your letters. All right, so everybody see that what happens when you preview your letters? Notice how it populated the first line. Here's the email address, and here's actually the person's name. Within this preview box, you also have the option to look at each of the rows that you have. So you just go up to your mailings tab, go up to the ribbon, and you see where you have your preview results, and then you're able to scroll. So scrolling each of those then allow you to see that each of the individual letters now have been populated based upon how many rows you have within your data source. So how many individuals did you have in your Excel spreadsheet, which I think we had a total of 6. Okay, so 6 of these rows have now been populated with the fields that I selected from that file is now within this letter. If we're satisfied with that, then we can just click next to complete the merge. And then from there, you have an option to either print it or you can edit the individual letters as well. And it allows you to go from the current, click OK. And then notice how mail merge now goes away because now we are done. And now we have this one letter here that we can preview. Don't get nervous and say, well, where's all of my other letters? They're still there. Okay, so this opened up in its own window for you to edit it. But if you don't want to do anything, you can close that window. Don't want to save it. And now we're back to where we were before. Okay, so once we are done, we can just then go up to finish and merge. Okay, and I'm going to go edit individual documents. I'm going to go all and not the current record. Click OK. And now we have all of our documents with each individual person that's personalized on the letter. So a really quick way, and now it would be a matter of just hitting print or emailing them, and it can go automatically to those individuals. Okay, so really, really neat feature to know how to use within Microsoft Word, as well as you can create you a spreadsheet within Excel and actually bring it over. Quickly can be able to do that. The other thing I want to show you guys before we wrap up mail merge is actually go back in and show you how to do a label. Okay, so this is the original document. We haven't added anything in, but I'm actually going to go back to mail. I'm going to go back to start mail merge, go back to my wizard. Okay, wizard is the best way to go because it'll give you step by step how to do that. And then I'm going to choose labels because I just want to show you guys the ability of the labels. Click next, and then you have the option of selecting the type of label that you want. So once you hit label options, okay, so we know there are several different types of labels that you can buy within the store. They can be small labels, big labels, all different types of labels. Within Excel, you can select your actual label vendor of who you bought them from, that's going to be on the package. And then once you select it, you can actually go and find the product number. Selecting this then will show you, what potentially that would look like, okay, for that label to be able to use that. And then you would then follow the same process of selecting your file that then will come from either a Excel file or it can be a list that you actually create within Word. And just to kind of show you again, the other feature is you also can do it for envelopes. So if you have envelopes that you want to use, you can actually go in and actually select envelopes. So let me do that one more time because I know sometimes I move a little bit quick. But if you go back into Word, go to mailings, you can either use the step-by-step mail merge for the envelopes, or you can just click envelopes. Here's a preview to show you, okay, this is what it looks like. But then you can choose option and actually choose the right size envelope that you're going to use. So guys, hopefully this is helpful for you if you are using mail merge to give you some idea of how it works. A lot of times you just got to click those buttons and figure out what they do. But now you have a starting point of how to go about and how to use mail merge.